Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Looks like tonight we'll probably be finishing up Hildibrand's questline, and then we'll have to figure out something else to do. So let's dive on in and see what we can get done tonight. Hey, we are live. Like a moth to the flame, but why else would you come if not for Nashu and Inspector Hildibrand's shenanigans? Oh, where in the world could he be? Oh, it's you. I don't suppose you bumped into Inspector Hildibrand roaming about, have you? Making his inquiries? Oh, ever since Shigure got detained by the Sekisegumi, the inspector's been busy looking into the affairs of Master Akebono, but to no avail. Never fear, my faithful assistants. I have returned. Your unwavering loyalty to the pursuit of honor and justice and a hard-boiled egg is to be commended, my good man. I've been promised hard-boiled eggs several times here, Hildibrand. Where are they? I might go so far as to say, in all my years as an inspector, I have known no fan more passionate than you. But speaking of fans, during the course of my investigation into the darker rumors concerning Master Akebono, I received a mysterious missive I can but presume was penned by one of my many admirers. I think you have exactly one of those, Hildibrand, and you're talking to her.
Mm-hmm. Do you see, what's his name behind? Did you see?
I didn't notice, no. Gosh, Inspector Hildibrand, even in the Far East you've got yourself a following. Can I see it? Of course, now I'm looking for him and don't see him here. Certainly not shoot. That's interesting. It's definitely not written by a Hegan, but they don't seem to be too good. But they don't seem to be too good with Eorzean letters. Yeah, something of light. You who seeks to the strongest of swords, the Soboro Tsukihiro, know that I have laid claim to the most priceless treasure. If you would make it yours, meet me upon Kugane Ohashi for a duel to end all duels. Sincerely, you know who. The something of light, you say? Why, he must be referring to none other than my humble self, the one and only gentleman of light. That said, I would much rather resolve this dispute without resorting to duels and the like. Wait here, my friends, while I go and attempt to reason with this misguided ruffian. I'm pretty sure that he wrote warrior, not gentleman. Which probably means he's talking about you. What do you think, Inspector? Inspector Hildibrand? What do you mean he up and ran off? And why are you still standing here? You should hurry and try to catch him before he does something silly.
Wow. She's changing her tune a little.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he was standing behind this lantern, kind of like leaning over and looking.
Ah. I see feet sticking in the air. Oh, and the question, is Yojimbo actually Gilgamesh? I'm undecided on that, but I think he might be.
I thought he was too, but we haven't seen the green chicken.
True.
Well, sorry. Isn't Yojimbo the guy that you pay, the boss pays X amount of gold, but then he runs away from him too in the old?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's just the fact that last night, when we were talking to Yojimbo, he specified that he had fought us before and had been seeking stronger and stronger weapons, which sounds like Gilgamesh.
Well, and he also called Hildibrand Hildy.
Yes, he did. And also got annoyed when Hildibrand called him Jim. Like, can you never get a name correctly?
Oh, and he called the dog the right name, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you can get the dog's name right, but not anybody else's. Yeah, so I do think it's him.
Is that you? As you can see, I seem to have found myself in a pickle. And by a pickle, I mean the ground. Kuganeoashi lies beyond this gate, but before I could pass through, I found myself suddenly accosted, then inverted, then embedded thusly by the dear, but misguided Jim. The duel I must regrettably leave up to you.
Per usual.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like he would be particularly useful in a fight, so...
That's true.
Very true.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just a note, we will try this once without reading through the mechanics. If we die, we'll read through the mechanics.
Okay.
Because we vastly out-level this, and we're coming in here unsynced, but it is Stormblood, and we did some Stormblood stuff a couple of weeks ago and found it dicey. For far, far too long, I have waited for this rematch. The Soboro Sukihiro may have brought us together, but 'twas fate, and I could not read the rest of it. Victory will be mine to this day. For Yojimbo, it's Gilgameshing time.
Yeah.
And the music changed. The divine epicness bar.
The achievement is bite me.
Indeed.
Sore loser.
I yield, I yield. I throw myself upon your boundless mercy and beg forgiveness. Please. We have a barding.
Ooh, everybody need on it. Congrats.
Thank you.
And we'll need to leave the city in a minute so we can see what that looks like and determine whether we care about fighting him 3 more times.
Oh, right, right.
Oh, this is the one with the hat.
We meet again, Hildy. Greg? Greg, I say you are a sight for sore eyes. However, did you come to be in here? However, did you come to be here in Kugane, in the Far East, for that matter? Well, you see, the thing about that is, I say, to think that Greg was masquerading as Jim this entire time. Indeed, I was. After he bested me a second time, I quit Eorzea and embarked upon a journey to distant lands, that I might hone my skills in preparation for our inevitable third bout. But when I saw you had misread my carefully written words and come in his stead, I felt I had no choice but to remove you from the field forcibly. Pray forgive me for my unkindness, Hildy. Now, Greg, there is no need for apologies between friends. Yet again, I must ask, though, how did you come to be here, in Kugane, as a Ronin of much repute and remarkably thin waist? I know it seems far-fetched, even insulting to your intelligence, but there's a simple and highly satisfying explanation. In my quest to hone my skills and procure more powerful weapons overseas, I neglected to budget properly for food and drink and found myself bereft of both. Driven to a deathly hunger, I fell to my knees, and in that instant looked to my bosom friend, the painted rooster that had offered me companionship in my darkest hour. When dawn broke the following day, I was alone once more, a sliver of strength restored by the terrible sacrifice of my comrade, whose body and soul I would carry with me ever after. But by his grace I survived for days and days after, until I chanced to cross paths with a stray dog. He too was clearly a victim of the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune, and in each other we found kindred spirits, we orphans of fate. Thus did I name him Daigoro, and thereafter did we travel as one, working together that we might both live to see another day. When we last arrived at Kugane, I sought employment as a mercenary to rebuild my misspent savings and resume my search for the strongest of swords. It was through my ventures that I acquired the Zanmoto, and began my reputation as Yojimbo. Began to build my reputation as Yojimbo. Naturally, a legendary Ronin must dress to meet the expectations of his clients, and so I assembled an outfit that would satisfy those who requested my services. Kageyama was one such client. When I saw that he and his comrades were to be my opponent, though, I quickly realized he had not paid me nearly enough. More fool me. Needless to say, the sight of a man who had bested me twice before was enough to rekindle the competitive spirit within me, and so when I heard tell of the Soboro Tsukihiro, I knew I must claim it in preparation for our battle. The rest, you know. Truly a riveting tale. And tragic besides, for though I fought with all my strength, yet again was I defeated by the great and powerful warrior of light. As I said to you on the bridge, no more tricks. I have taken my shot and fallen short, and so I will cease my shenanigans and instead pledge my complete support to your endeavors, that I might make amends for my misdeeds.
Sure.
And we should be glad to have it, Greg. Welcome aboard. Let us return to Nashu and share with her the wonderful news. You too, Greg. You're a full-fledged assistant now.
He probably needs some more food.
Yeah, he's not allowed to hang out with the dog anymore.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
The district, I can't remember what it starts with. The Rakusa district. Actually, I guess this quest marker is dead center between the Inn Aetheryte and the Rakusa District Aetheryte. Terrible news, everyone. Whatever is the matter, Nashu? It's Shigure. As punishment for helping the wolf burglar escape, he's been sentenced to death by ritual suicide. This is indeed a disturbing development, Hildy. We have no time to spare, my friends. Presuming the wolf burglar is in the wind, our only recourse is to delve deeper into the hidden past of Master Akebono and uncover proof that the sword he claims was first stolen by he himself. Divide and conquer, agents of inquiry style. Are we going to go to the tea house and talk to the same guy sitting on the same bench for the third or fourth time?
Probably.
Yes, we are. How did Akebono earn his fortune, you ask? By peddling a variety of medicinal wares for all manner of purposes. From what I heard, they were all remarkably effective and popular. He still enjoys a reputation as a premier source for alchemical goods. Whether I had the coin to afford such luxurious potions and potables, his clientele spends in a visit what I earn in a month.
Is this the right one?
Yes. I should be glad to speak of Master Akibono to you, albeit solely with regards to his character as a businessman. Like all who have risen to mercantile prominence, he has been at the center of rumor and intrigue. For every man who sings his praises, there is another who would curse his name. None will deny the efficacy of his medicines, which is to be expected given that he utilizes the finest ingredients from that birthplace of alchemy, Radzat Han. His satisfied customers are beyond counting. On the other hand, none can deny the exorbitant profits he has reaped by tightly controlling the supply of Hanish ingredients. Absent competition, he is free to dictate prices as he sees fit. Unfortunately, this has led many in desperate need of his miraculous medicines to spend their life savings or seek assistance from disreputable moneylenders. His practices are ultimately wholly within the confines of the law. So again, as a businessman, he is to be lauded for his success, but I will say nothing on his morals or ethics, or lack thereof. Oh, he also has another quest. That was what that was the issue. Okay. We can ignore the other quest. Have you tantalizing tidbits of information to share, my good man? Come out. Or come on. Come, out with it. I'm going with option 2. A man who preys on the sick and needy for personal gain, is he? As expected, there is far more to Master Akibono than meets the eye. Inspector, we've got to hurry. Shiguri's execution is going to be carried out any moment now if we don't do something. What? Already? And there I was hoping we might first conduct a thorough investigation and uncover information with which we might convince them to set the poor man free. But absent that... there are many roads which lead to just ends. If we must take a shortcut to avert a grave miscarriage of justice, then so be it. I guess we're busting him out. Honored brothers, I will not beg your forgiveness, only pray that by this humble offering of my life, that I might absolve the Sekisegumi of the shame I have brought upon it through my misdeeds. What is the meaning of this? That man is an imposter. Seize him. Seize him at once. Shigure! Shigure, now is your chance to escape! I will do no such thing. I may have lost what little honor was mine in life, but at least I can reclaim it in death. Your honor is yet yours, samurai. You need not cut your belly open this day, Shigure. For you have the Soboro Tsukihiro and the infamous wolf burglar beside. But why? We had a deal, remember? Temporary release, and I am a wolf of my word. Aye, this is indeed the Soboro Tsukihiro. Very well. Escort the wolf burglar back to his cell, and send a runner for Master Akebono's estate at once. We're far from finished, Shigure. The wolf burglar may be in custody once more, but you must still answer for your reckless actions. Therefore, after further deliberation, I've decided that you will conduct a formal investigation into the rumors surrounding Master Akebono, and that will not be necessary. Indeed, with the return of the wolf burglar, I believe we can consider this tiresome affair resolved. Master Komode. Wait, I know you. Master Akebono's guest. The one the Geiko threw into the wall. Oh, surely you must be mistaken. I have no recollection of any such event. Or of you, for that matter. Anyway, as I said before, I believe there is no need for any further investigation. Should you deem otherwise, you are free to proceed. However, such wasteful expenditures may force us to reconsider the resources we allocate to you and yours next year. Rest assured, Master Komode, that we value your counsel deeply and should be glad to defer to your judgment. Shigure, the matter of the Soboro Tsukihiro and Master Akebono is now officially closed. That will be all. Yes, that will be all. If you were to remove the Japanese inflections from his name is Master Toilet. Verily, I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have once more done the impossible and saved a man from certain death. A shame that the others seemed so eager to wash their hands of the affair. Not Shigure, though. I understand he still has questions for the wolf burglar. That looks like an emote.
Yay!
Oh, it's the
Winterfield
dance.
Mamba.
It's the dance.
Shigure, over here. My friends, I cannot thank you enough. Had you not arrived when you had, I would not be standing before you now. You will forgive me for dispensing with further expressions of gratitude, for I have just returned from the jail where I spoke with the wolf burglar, who shared with me some rather troubling information. Do not keep us in suspense, my good man. What is it? Not long after we delivered the wolf burglar into the custody of the Sekisagumi, Master Akebono stormed into the jail and began berating the turnkey, demanding that they return the stolen contents of his safe. You may recall that we spoke with Master Akebono concerning this theft shortly after we first met. He was rather secretive regarding what said contents at the time, but the wolf burglar said it was an unmarked satchel filled with a white powder. Given Master Akebono's reputation as a purveyor of medicines, our chivalrous thief resolved to steal it for the benefit of the poor and needy, as is his wont. However, since there was nothing to identify what manner of medicine it was, the wolf burglar decided to hold on to it for safekeeping. Plainly, however, it was no ordinary medicine, for why else would Master Akebono clamor for it so? My keen inspector senses is tingling. Where is this satchel now? In the possession of the men and women of the waterways. They will not admit this, however, unless we give them the proper password. As above, so below. Understood. Let us hasten to their den of inequity.
Nice, you caught him.
I did.
Hmm?
I got a screenshot of the little dude listening in on the conversation.
Ah.
Nice.
I keep forgetting to look for him.
It's like I look for him every time now.
Oh yeah, we gotta jump off the ledge, don't we?
Yeah.
Easy to get to, pain in the butt to get out of.
Very much so. Knew you'd like turn up again sooner or later. Didn't expect you'd be bringing along another unfamiliar face, though. No matter. I like the cut of his jib. So, what are you after this time? A certain satchel containing a certain white powder, which once belonged to a certain merchant. The wolf burglar told me you have it. If he did, then he told you the magic words, too. Ah, yes, of course. They are... soar high above and never go low. What? Kami, take me no. This is no time for fun and games, Inspector. I will say the correct one, although I see there the old Scions of the Seventh Dawn password popping up again.
The Wild Rose, right?
Which I'm trying to remember, have we ever actually had to use that for anything?
I don't think so.
Hey, that's it. Nothing personal, but we gotta be careful. Damned if I know what it is, but my gut tells me it's nothing no honest man would keep in a locked safe. That said, a suspicious powder is far from incontrovertible proof of criminal misdeeds. We need first to determine what it is. Any ideas how we might do so? Well, if we hadn't been traveled back in time for this quest, I would say we just take it to the elephant lady and she'll tell us what it is. But yeah. Seek the assistance of a Hanish alchemist or someone versed in alchemical traditions. Perhaps someone at the Thavnarian consulate. Brilliant minds think alike, for I too reached that conclusion but a moment ago. To the Thavnarian consulate, my friends. Here, you can't simply go and bang on the gates of a foreign consulate and expect it. Never mind. We did that at the exact same second, KJ.
That was funny.
It's kind of cool looking.
It is all rather sudden, I realize. But to reiterate, it is of the utmost importance that we speak with your superiors. To reiterate, have you allot an appointment or not? Not as such, no. Then my hands are tied. Or then my hands, they are tied. There are procedures, samurai, and much paperwork. No exceptions can be made. Under normal circumstances, I would agree. This is a matter of public safety and welfare. Surely an exception can be made. What ho, young Manderville man? Father!
Nice.
What brings you to the far side of the world? A complex series of events too exhausting to detail. Of greater importance is what brings us to the consulate. You see, we must needs enlist the assistance of a Hanish alchemist, or one with an encyclopedic knowledge of Hanish reagents. How fortunate then that we should chance to meet. I am a representative of the Shachturn concern in Razathan. Should you know not the name, we trade in all manner of alchemical goods. If your quandary requires the expertise of one versed in such wares, pray permit me to assist you. Indeed, to aid the son of Lord Godbert Manderville and his comrades would be an honor most great. This is most generous of you. Far be it for us to refuse. Perhaps a change of venue is in order. I say, let us not impose upon these hard-working keepers of the peace any longer.
You saw him that time, right?
Wasn't paying attention again.
I've posted.
And again.
And this guy's from Razahan, so you would have talked about that with what's her name?
Mm-hmm. This powder, it is most fascinating. An ingredient of Hanish origin. This is true, but not one intended for medicinal purposes. Dangerous purposes, rather. And for this reason, its sale is forbidden. In the hands of a master alchemist, it can be used to create dew prism. Sorry, dew prism? A most powerful drug. A mere thimbleful is enough to befuddle the senses and render even the most strong-willed subjects susceptible to any and all commands. You may be assured that this is not an exaggeration. Resistance is, most regrettably, quite futile. Undetectable it is, save for the occasional glimmer in the eyes, a changing of the color, fleeting and impossible. By the kami, I have seen such a glimmer before. Oh? Are you quite sure it was not a trick of the light? I'm with option 1. Well deduced, my faithful assistant and undying fan. I was just about to voice the same conclusion. Well, if what you say is true, then a most terrible crime has been committed. Evidence must be gathered, and those responsible must be punished. It all makes sense now. Why else would the chief coin counter of the Sekisagumi press so strongly to end an investigation into a modest merchant? Because he drugged him during their meeting. At last, we have motive, means, and opportunity. Come, let us put an end to this once and for all. How wonderful it is to see Hildy's infectious enthusiasm inspire others to rise to the occasion once more. Well then, do not let me detain you. I mean, I guess Godbert is likely one of the richest men in the world. But it is funny that we keep running into him everywhere. What are we going to do, Hildibrand? Just kick the door down? Akebono, we call on you to come forth and answer for your dastardly deeds. Doesn't seem like anyone's home, does it? Wherever could he be? But that's impossible. Traded places with the dead man again? Thought you'd seen the last of me, did you? As if I'd content myself with sitting in a jail I could escape on a whim while you lot bungle your chance to bring my nemesis to justice. And by escaping on someone else's watch, no one can pin the blame on you this time. Wouldn't want to repeat it before. Don't tell me this was your plan all along, to secure my freedom so we could expose Akebono's crimes together. And reclaim the Soboro Tsukihiro into the bargain. Aye, this is no small undertaking, and I knew I'd need all the help I can get. Now that we're all on the same page, let's be on our way. The bastard's bound for the Isle of Beko, off to meet with a silent partner, I'm told. Capital! If we hurry, perhaps we can beat Akebono to the punch. He may be an idiot, but he's got the right idea. There's no time to waste. Very well. If this is the way the winds are blowing, let no one say I don't also blow. Hildibrand's rubbing off on him.
Yeah. Did you guys go to Ruby Price?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw Zora standing next to the car, and then she just simply disappeared.
Yeah,
her hat,
with the
the
hat
black
makes
hat,
it look like she's
too.
up there.
Yep.
It dwarfs her.
Oh, it's a large hat.
If you look at the car sideways, get eye level, all you can see is the hat, and then Keth's shoulder.
I'm
I
still.
I had the camera behind and slightly elevated. It's just I could see her hat clearly, but it's the same color as the car or the
Yeah.
interior of the car, so it looks like she just disappeared. So, and I just flew past the point. What on earth is that? I want to kill it. This looks like another one of those enemies that's healing itself faster than we can damage it.
Try to get a sense of it.
Oh, I mean, it seems to be going down. I don't think we're gonna get a lot out of it, though.
Satisfaction with killing it.
True. Apparently, this is one of the elite marks. If we had picked up the hunt from the thing, we might get something out of it. But I don't know if we're gonna get anything without it.
That was your chocobo, wasn't it? Oh, I couldn't figure out why you were taking damage and Emo didn't heal you. It was depend. Or mount.
No, I got seals for it.
Oh yeah, cool.
So did I.
Got an achievement unlocked.
And 40 Centurial seals, whatever those ones are.
Apparently Zora has killed 5 of these things. Whereas apparently I have killed 4. This is the place. I'm sure of it. All we have to do is wait. Father? Why, the Kami. Could it be that the inspector's father is in league with Akibono? Don't be daft. Look closer. As always, your discretion in these matters is greatly appreciated. As is yours, Master Akibono. But to the matter at hand, the Dew Prism. It has served you well? Met your expectations, I trust? Exceeded them, I should say. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that a drug could be so powerful, so effective. Tasteless, odorless, colorless, the chief coin counter had no idea his drink had been compromised. He has already proven to be a most useful tool in manipulating the Sekisagumi. More than worth the regular upkeep to keep him in my thrall. Now that the Soboro Tsukihiro is back where it belongs, I can set my sights on much bigger prizes. The Bugyosho, perhaps? Magistrate Akibono? Why not? All Kugane is mine for the taking. You are more right than you know, Master Akibono. For I come bearing a gift, courtesy of Manderville and Manderville, a most illustrious Eorzean consortium, of which you have doubtless heard. Their resources are considerable, and their influence extends far beyond the borders of Alanard. But all their wealth pales in comparison to what I present to you now. As we discussed, Lord Godbert, you will serve Master Akibono faithfully and without question, will you not? But of course. Kami for Find. He's under the influence of Dew Prism. Wait, you fool! Now is not the time! Father, 'tis I, your beloved son Hildibrand. Hearken to me. These men are villains. You have been deceived. The inspector arrives, as I knew he would. Doubtless your friends are cowering and hiding. Just as well. In one fell swoop, we shall bring an end to this farce. I call upon Eorzea's most fearsome of goldsmiths. I call upon the hammer. Go forth and lay waste to these interlopers. Oh. Oh dear. Magnificent! Finish them all! Finish everyone! You just told him to finish everyone.
Uh-huh.
It falls to you, Hildibrand Heliodor Maximilian Manderville. Forgive me, Father, but you know not what you do. You're a Manderville.
Okay, that one hurt my back just looking at the picture. Well, his beard's not white.
Flashback.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Manderville man! Abort, Father! Abort! Whew, and I'm spent. What happened here? Well, this is all very embarrassing indeed. 1,000 pardons to you and to you all for my rather excessive display of martial prowess. Oh, and it should go without saying, but Manderville and Manderville will be severing all ties with the Sajata concern. Rejoice, my friend, for we have reclaimed the Soboro Sukihara once more. How fortunate that that dastardly Akebono would be so loath to set it aside that he would bring it with him on a secret rendezvous. A final favor, if you'll indulge. Lay it at my father's grave. Right then. I suppose you'll be wanting to get me back in the jail. Regardless of the reasons, a crime is a crime, and mine are many. And an upstanding Sekisagumi like yourself must adhere to a code, no? Indeed I must, which is why it will be with much regret that I inform my superiors that I have seen neither hide nor hair of the notorious wolf burglar. You sure about this? Not if you ask me again. Go to your father. Shigure has the right of it. You should be the one to bring your father's spirit, the comfort and closure it deserves. You're mad, each and every one of you, even the samurai, and I love you all the more for it. Thank you. To hold fast to a righteous creed, yet recognize when too rigid an adherence would result in greater injustice. Truly, I am privileged to have witnessed this display of nuanced nobility. Would that, like the burglar, I might find a measure of peace in mourning mine own dearly departed. Oh, Enkudu, if only you knew how sorry I am.
I knew it.
Enkudu, but how? What was it that I ate that faithful day? Fools, think you this the end? I think not. Huzzah! You belong to me now, Ronan. Now, spirit me away from this place. Far, far away. Far, far, far away. Greg, no! Cease your egress! Beyond the rift that lies between, to wondrous worlds yet unseen. Wait, no! Mummy, this is going to get worse before it gets better. Wait for me, Inspector! There he goes, my beloved son. Not content to fly off into the sky as before, this time he elects to take his leave by vanishing into the earth. Brief though our time was together, I cannot deny how much he has grown, both as an inspector extraordinaire and a Manderville man besides. I say, a father could not be more proud. And off goes Lord Godbert, along with Akebono. I should thank him for that. Nothing left for us but to follow them back to Kugane, I suppose. Are you ready? Good. Then let us be off. Cannot even begin to imagine where I would be had I never crossed paths with you and your comrades. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for everything. The Sekisagumi have concluded that even before the chief coin counter fell under Akebono's thrall, he willingly and enthusiastically conspired with the merchant to illicit ends, and so he will be held to account. As for Akebono and his now defunct enterprise, the Thavnarian consulate has agreed to intercede on behalf of its countrymen to broker a more equitable arrangement between Hanish suppliers and Hegan merchants. All agree that another monopoly would serve no one's interests. Regardless of their motivations, if their actions put more medicine in the hands of the sick and needy, then I think it's safe to call it a change for the better, don't you? The best part, if you ask me, in light of Akebono's crimes, all debts owed to him by those forced to pay his exorbitant prices are to be wiped clean. There was a time when I might not have thought as much. Good and evil, the innocent and the criminal, it all seemed so simple in the abstract. But out here, in the real world, life is anything but. You and the inspector helped me to understand how naive I was. You taught me to look beyond appearance and hearsay, and not be too quick to judge a man for his misdeeds. If I am worthy of the Sekisagumi, it is because of you and him. Speaking of which, what exactly did become of Inspector Hildibrand? Do you think we ought to do something? Conduct a search, or... Oh, so this is a regular occurrence, is it? Fair enough. If you are certain that he will turn up eventually, none the worse for wear, then I shall take your word for it and strike all worry from my mind. Should that faithful day ever come, that you and he are reunited once more, I but ask that you give him my best regards. I would say the same for the wolf burglar. I wonder what he's doing now. I'm going to go with option 1. I would not fault him if he were, though I might take issue with his methods, and should he abandon all pretense and become a common thief, then I will bring him to justice. This I swear. Chigure, this is no time to dawdle. Your duties are far from finished. Yes, forgive me, right away. I must take my leave, but whenever you are passing through Kugane, I pray do not hesitate to call on me here at the barracks.
I love that it showed us doing it in the cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
This is a much better dance than the other one.
Yeah.
Yes. Where does the next one start?
That's what I'm checking right now.
Be right back.
Okay.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Where did you guys go? Oh,
We're
here's-
like 10 feet away from you.
Yeah. Excitable youth.
He appears to be a Lalafell in a pink shirt
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like,
Mhm.
sure.
and a straw hat.
Uh,
The pungent Lalafell can scarcely conceal his excitement. Wait, I know you. We met in Kugane. You're that stone-cold killer I asked to look after the love of my life. What's that look for? Surely you haven't forgotten me. You and me, we had a moment, a connection. Not like the one I've got with her, of course, but I know I left an impression. I like both of these, but I'm going with number one. Hey, there's nothing creepy about my love. It's as pure as the pristine waters of a forest stream. Fair point about the cheese stink, though. But enough about me. This is about Miss Nashu. Ever since she got sucked into that weird portal back east, I've been scouring the world for any sign of her. I was this close to giving up, but then, huzzah! I found her here in Razathan. Normally I'd be happy to get back to playing the silent invisible guardian, but she seems pretty distressed by the plight of her inspector friend. He's here too, but laid up in some and showing no signs of waking anytime soon. My Nashu has been fashioning all sorts of medicines in hopes of rousing him, but to no avail. I mean, I could care less if he kicked the bucket, but I hate seeing her like this. She's liable to work herself to death. So what say you? Will you deliver my dearest Nashu from her plight? You'll find her over at the High Crucible, no doubt slaving over an Alabic. And with that, I'll get back to cheering her from the shadows. You too, I guess. Now, go quickly, save my beloved.
creepy.
Mm-hmm.
They're not blue.
Hmm?
They're not blue. They're the quest that's
Yeah,
throwing me off.
Yeah, they're not. And that should do it. Now to take this medicine and... It feels like it's been forever. Though, definitely less than a year, I'm sure. What brings you to Razathan? Enjoying a spot of adventuring? Or perhaps... Then you've heard. It's true. Inspector Hildibrand's gone into hibernation again and... Oh, wait. You're giving me that look. The one that screams, what about the whole weird portal business? Alright, since you silently asked. So, back on the Ruby Sea, remember how Greg got doused with dew prism and was forced to whisk us all far away? How that strange rift that then opened, which the inspector got sucked up into, and how I followed him in after that? Well, after that, we all ended up in this bizarre place. Couldn't tell up from down, left from right, and so we wandered, lost and confused. Fortunately, Greg came to his senses and explained that we were in the interspectorial rift, and then used the same trick to bring us home. Greg himself stayed behind, though. Something about a score that he had to settle. Not sure what that was about, but hey, you know Greg. Anyway, we're back now, but the rub is that Inspector Hildibrand hasn't opened his eyes once. I know he needs his beauty sleep, but it's been an awful long time, and he's got cases to solve. I've been trying my hand at apothecary stuff, seeing if I can't make something that'll get him up and moving, but nothing seems to work. But I think we're making progress. Me and Mr. Chupacabra from the Shakashuka concern, that is. You remember Mr. Chupacabra, right? Got sucked into the rift along with us? Former evil mastermind? Not so bad once you get to know him? Pleased I am to meet you once more, and under less compromising circumstances. If I may correct our mutual friend, I am Jubraka, chairman of the Shajata concern. Your distrustful and somewhat bloodthirsty glare is not unwarranted, but in my defense, who among us is not contemplating enslaving the rich and powerful to bend the world to their whim? I pray you forgive me my poor joke, and allow me to assure you that after wandering through the interdimensional rift for the sisters only know how long, I am a changed man. Naturally, I understand that words alone would not suffice to absolve me of my sins. Thus, since my return, I have operated a humble apothecary that caters to the needs of one and all. Furthermore, I made arrangements with Miss Nashu's workshop. Rest assured that I will spare no effort in helping her seize Inspector Hildibrand awakened and returned to full health. And with that, if you would excuse me, I must see to other business.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
An arrow right in the back. Oh, did you see the hat?
I saw motion, but I didn't quite catch it, no.
Yeah, it's a hat, and it's the crate that's right to her left before she starts talking. You can't see it right now, though.
Isn't he the nicest ex-villain you've ever met? But that's right. I had just finished my latest medicine. I've got high hopes for this new recipe. I'm going to say option 1. By all means, the inspector is resting in his room up in coma. Awake or asleep, I'm sure he'd enjoy your company. Let's go.
His hat was right here.
I'm really going to have to actually pay attention on these quests. The girl's a friend of yours, is she? She's welcome to stay as long as she likes. I do hope her friend recovers soon, though. Sleeping on the floor hasn't been good for my back. Isn't this room nice? Mr. Chupacabra's taking care of everything. Even paid the rent in full. But I'm distracting you, aren't I? You need to concentrate while you examine the inspector, yes? Study the sleeping Inspector Hildibrand. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and zoom out. Target a section and examine it in more detail.
Can we punch? Nope.
I examined his feet first. The exquisite buckles of the stylish footwear are a design unique to the House Manderville. These shoes would almost certainly fetch a small fortune in the markets. And his arms. Rippling muscle bespeak impressive strength, while smooth skin suggests that only on the rarest of occasions does the man resort to violence. Troublingly, his limbs are stiff and cool to the touch, as if the blood runs cold in his veins. And his face. Rugged features belie what is, at close glance, the sensitive mien of a cultured gentleman. While he still breathes, he appears to be locked in a deep slumber. The inspector's condition is disturbingly reminiscent of the scions who were summoned to the First for their time. Oh, finished already? Any theories as to what's wrong with the inspector? I don't know which one of these I want to say.
I wanted one, but I went with two.
I'm going to go with one then. I see. I mean, I don't, but that's what you're supposed to say at times like this. I know that much. How do we wake him up?
Same answer so far.
Return his soul to his body? But where did it go? And what is it doing there? I'm going to go with option one again. I see. Right. So, can you go there? Great. In that case, I'll leave the soul searching to you. I'm sure it goes without saying, but once you've arrived in this otherworldly world, look for a place that smells of mystery and intrigue and chat with the people there. That's standard agent of inquiry protocol. Oh, and since this is Inspector Hildibrand we're talking about, don't be surprised if you find him asleep or having forgotten a thing or two. But not to worry, I prepared my traditional medicine just in case. Don't hesitate to use it. And with that, do take care out there.
A bomb? Is it a bomb?
I'm assuming yes. We have a box of Nashu's Delights in our quest items.
Nice.
A potent explosive whipped up by Nashu with the power to jog one's memories.
Where'd you go?
I'm just running toward the quest marker. I think the Musica Universalis markets are the closest.
It's not a blue marker, is it?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure why It might be because this quest line isn't finished yet, so it may not actually have any like achievements or emotes or something like that we can unlock yet. So it's not technically an unlock quest yet.
Got it.
Welcome back, friend. I'd offer you a pint, but my barman sense tells me that's not why you're here. So this friend of yours has gone missing. Sorry to hear that. But plenty of travelers pass through these parts. Can you describe the fellow to me? I'm going with option 1. He is a well-meaning idiot. Yes, that sounds familiar. Mind you, I didn't see him myself, but I do believe one of our bounty hunters spied such a man when you were all battling that horde of spectral warriors. Giat, come here for a moment. There's someone who wants to speak with you. That's so? Make it quick. This ale isn't gonna drink itself. Wait, you're one of the Exarch's friends, the Warrior of Darkness. Fought by your side when the glowing bastards came to ruin our day, but we showed them. Ha! But enough reminiscing. What's so important that you had to interrupt my regularly scheduled drinking? Now that you mention it, I did see someone like that back there on the battlefield, after you ran off to do some more hero work. At first, I thought he was going to attack me like the rest of the spirit whatsits. But no, he just stood there, striking a pose, trying to scare or seduce me, damned if I could tell. Still, he was glowing, and I wasn't about to take any chances, so I said, "Hey, piss off, ghost," and sent him packing. Did he die, you ask? To which I say, what am I, a surgeon? Also, I've kept my bug waiting too long. Good talk. Could it be? The Warrior of Darkness? Hello, lads. I thought that was your voice. But was convinced my ears were playing tricks on me. It's good to see you again. Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but we overheard you discussing the renegade poser. We've been searching for him for some time now. There have been sightings in Lakeland, you see. Bonner and I have been tasked with getting to the bottom of it. And I accidentally clicked the next box without reading it, so... He's not caused any harm, if you discount the shock of a strange man gesticulating in your general direction, that is. Nevertheless, we're worried his behavior might escalate. Have you been tasked with apprehending the miscreant as well? Not quite, Vonard. He's come to track down the missing friend. I like all these answers. I'm gonna go with option 2. If the man you're looking for might be one and the same, then why not work together? Between the three of you, you're bound to have a better luck. It would be an honor and a great help. We were just about to leave to gather testimony as it happens. Come and join us. Come and join us in Sullen when you've finished here. We'll solve this mystery in no time. Did I see him? You bet I did. I was crossing through the Forest of the Lost. Or Forest of the Lost Shepherd on my way to deliver fish to the Ostal Imperative. Out of nowhere, this odd man leapt in front of me. I thought he was a bandit at first, but then he abruptly turned to the side, curled his cheek, and put his fist to his head as if to say, I don't know. It was baffling. I ran when I realized he wasn't going to do anything else. That one's a quest. So, walking away. Oh, that fellow? Aye, I saw him the other day, on my way home from Clearmelt. I'd enjoyed one too many libations after my bath and ended up wandering off into the forest. Before I knew it, the sun was dipping low and the sky turning dark, and I was beginning to wonder if I'd make it home. Then I felt a gentle tug at my arm. And would you believe it? This odd-looking man led me out of the forest and set me back on the road. I thanked him profusely, but he said nothing in reply, just struck a pose and walked off. Now the question is this going to be Hildibrand, or is this going to be one of the zombie men that got here somehow? Why yes, I saw someone like that when I was out picking mushrooms in the forest. He even spoke to me. I was repulsed at first by his form, but he only wanted to warn me that fell beasts lurk in the forest and that I should be wary. Contrary to appearances, I'd say he was actually quite gentlemanly.
I forget, you can't actually jump in jumping.
You've made it look pretty convincing in the past.
Yeah.
Finished questing the locals, have you? Were you able to learn anything? Not only has the poser caused no harm, he's even helped people. So he's a gentleman, albeit a suspicious one. Something of a contradiction, you might say. But there's no reason to doubt what we heard. Everyone seemed to encounter him in the Forest of the Lost Shepherd, right? Then that's where we'll look next, shall we? Well, here we are. But how exactly are we supposed to begin our search? These woods are, well, woods. Got a plan, do you? Far be it from me to doubt the warrior of darkness. Show us what you've got in mind, and we'll back you up to the best of our ability. I'm gonna do the stupid dance. The two gentlemen look terrified, by the way.
Mhm.
Yes. Even with the other one.
And now they're dancing with me. Hark! What familiar gentlemanly gyrations are these?
Oh, he's got wings. We'll have to kill him. For a second there, I had a flashback of oh Purry Purry or whatever his name is. From One Punch.
On your guard, it's a Sin Eater. No, wait. That's no Sin Eater. I'm calling him by his name. Hildibrand? Who is this Hildibrand of whom you speak? I am the Forgiven Gentleman, Devourer of Sins, Light Warden Extraordinaire. I'm going with option 2. Spectre, Sin Eater, Inspector, Sin Eater. You're acquainted with this gentleman? Right then. Clearly your friend has been through a lot. But still, how did you get in his head that he's a Sin Eater? Is there no way to bring back his memories?
Nice.
Explosives? We're still trying to save him, right?
Nice saves.
Volleyball time.
Mm-hmm.
That was sweet. And satisfying.
And his clothes have changed back to their normal color. Wicked White, we've killed him.
Can't kill us already dead.
Did anybody perform the Manderville Mambo instead?
I did.
Yes.
It did the same thing?
Yeah.
Exact.
Okay. I say, I had resigned myself to Nashu's ungentle methodology, but you too, my British friend? But never mind that. I do not recall the world being quite so purple. Previously, I was with Nashu and Greg, wandering the bizarre, shadowy realm known as the Introspectorial Rift. Where am I? Who am I? A sickening light, that aggressive posturing. I know what you are. You're one of them, ain't you? What you need is a good old-fashioned dwarven decking. Piss off, ghost.
I don't want one of those. That's all Dragon Ball Z and everything. He's scared of.
Run for your lives! It's a Sin Eater! A Sin Eater? I'll be damned. I saw a vision of the man's past. No wonder he became convinced he was a Sin Eater. Saw it too. It was quite possibly the most ridiculous memory I've ever glimpsed. Answer me, my faithful assistant. Where are we? And why is it so purple? The first? The first what? Are you telling me we've somehow traveled to an entirely different world? Good gods! To think I have transcended the very boundaries of time and space! But worry not, my adoring fans. Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, will return to you forthwith. I can't help but feel that this is not what the Echo was intended for.
Mm-hmm.
Explosions, dwarven deckings. Is there nothing this man can't withstand? Hildibrand is back and full of spectral beams. While I've enjoyed what time I've spent in this far-flung first, while I've enjoyed what time I've spent in this far-flung first that I can remember, we should be getting back to our own world soon. Would you happen to know how I might go about doing that? Restore my soul with a spirit vessel. Say no more. Your cursory description was more than enough for me to grasp the concept completely. It is not unlike brewing a perfect cup of coffee, which means our task is clear. We require the services of a skilled soul sommelier. I'm going with option 2. Splendid! I see that even in this world you rub shoulders with the cream. Let us pay this Beck-Luke a visit. Not sure what you're plotting to do with souls, but if you require Beck-Luke's assistance, we can help. Aye, they've aided us time and again, and I reckon they'd do the same for your friend here. Come with us to the Cabinet of Curiosity. You're ready. I'll call for Beck-Luke. Ah, the genius soul sommelier. You come highly recommended, and what an adorable little puppy you have. So, what? Puppy? I beg your pardon, but there seems to be some confusion. Puppy? Who is this imbecile? I've half a mind to dig a hole so I can throw him in it. But I presume he is a friend of yours, and one in need, no less? What? Another of your friends that needs to be sent back to the source? Have you forgotten how complex and difficult it was to do the last time? You waltz in here and ask me for this favor with the air of one shopping for a new hat? His case is no different from the others, at least. He is present only in soul, as they were. We'll need another spirit vessel, of course. You don't happen to have one on you already, do you? Well, technically, yes. Yes, we do, but I imagine we're not going to mention it. Oh, okay, we do have it. Okay. Entrusted to you by the Crystal Exarch, you say? If only he knew how you were using it. Fortunately, I have a porksy on hand. We've been using it to treat patients that are at risk of transforming into eaters, but I suppose it's due for a change of pace. There is, however, one concern. In case I didn't make it clear before, the process can place the great strain upon one's soul. If he's lacking in resilience, there's a chance he will not survive. And that his very essence will be rent asunder.
Do it.
I'm going with option 1. That's a risk I'm willing to take. He knows me all too well. I assure you, my good sommelier, who is most certainly not a dog, you needn't worry about Hildibrand Heliodor Maximilian Manderville. Yes, I get the distinct impression that the gods themselves could not kill him if they tried. And they have. Come along then, Hilde, I cannot be bothered to remember that name. 1,000 thanks. Simply point me to the soul siphon and I shall hop right in. The rest of you wait here. I promise I won't hurt him, no matter how much I might be tempted.
No, she can, just a little. I don't mind.
Makes me think of the passage in Shrek. Some of you will die, but that is a risk I'm willing to take.
Yes.
You will be pleased to know that the process was smooth and uneventful. Honestly, I was hoping for more of a challenge. All you need to do is take the spirit vessel back to the source and bring it in contact with his corporeal body. He should awaken immediately with his soul and memories intact. If there's nothing else, Vonard and I should get back to our duties. It was a pleasure, if all too brief. I won't pretend I understood even a fraction of what happened, but I'm glad I was there for it. Till we meet again, rest assured that Thaler and I will be doing our damnedest to look after the people here in your absence. Nashu, what have you done with him?
Probably use explosives on his body.
You're back, and not a moment too soon. We have an emergency on our hands. The inspector's soul is in this, you say? That's great, but we have another problem now. The inspector's body has gone missing. We went to the markets to do some shopping, and when we came back, he was nowhere to be seen. I double-checked that every door was locked before we left, but there's nothing to suggest someone forced their way in. We've got a case on our hands. A case of an evaporating inspector. We must begin our investigation at once. Come, let's start looking for witnesses. I see anyone get carried out of that house, you ask? I was too distracted with stock taking to make note of any comings and goings. Sorry, I couldn't be of more help. I didn't see anyone carry a person out of that house, no. But I did see a man carrying a particularly large sack, so heavy he strained to lift it. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now that you mention it, it was a bit suspicious. Ah, there you are. This man says he has vital information that will help us in our investigation. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Delion, editor of the Thavnarian Truth, a monthly publication devoted to exploring unexplained and otherworldly phenomenon on our isle. Your companion shared with me the news of your friend's disappearance, and I happen to know precisely who is behind this incident. But I fear you may not like the answer, for the kidnapper is not of this star. They come from the heavens, from beyond the great expanse. They descend in curious saucer-shaped airships to study our world, our society, our buildings, our very bodies. You shudder, no doubt, as you realize of whom I speak. It couldn't be, you protest, but it could be, and it is. Your dear friend the inspector has been abducted by aliens. Oh, but he'll be fine, you assure yourself. After all, they just want to understand us better. You poor deluded child. That they do. But to what end? Why else? That they can one day take over our world. What is worse, they plot to do so with the aid of collaborators. For the Sharlians are in league with our would-be overlords, providing the aliens with vital information on our vulnerabilities in exchange for a position of power within their regime. The final days was also the work of these alien invaders, an attempt to sow chaos, that our world would be easier to conquer. Blessedly it was thwarted, if only by dumb luck, as those that did the thwarting were blissfully unaware of the true nature of the threat. I had hoped the setback would discourage the aliens from coming back, if not move them to abandon their ambitions. But it would seem events have only emboldened them, if they indeed are carrying out abductions here in Razat-Han. Even as we speak, your friend lays prone on a sterile bed in their base on the surface of the moon, where they poke and probe him with inscrutable instruments as their floppy ears wiggle with fiendish delight. Ah, but I have said too much. I must continue my investigation in secret. The fate of our world is at stake.
I'm just turn around and walk away.
Oh no, that sounded awful. We have to go to the moon and save the inspector at once.
Oh, the tree behind her.
I'm going with option 2. So you don't think the inspector's somewhere being probed by aliens? But if not them, then who's probing him? A man carrying a suspiciously large sack? That sounds promising. Maybe someone else could tell us more. Someone up ahead may have seen something. Let's ask around. Nashi was now accompanying you. Keep her at your side, etc., etc., etc. Hariga and his family are the nicest people. They've got such gentle eyes and long snouts, too. Longer than anyone I've ever met in Eorzea. The man with the sack? Indeed, I couldn't help but take note of him as he passed, trying so hard to be inconspicuous as he was. He descended to Aldazal's path, then went over to the fountain, where he met with a merchant, I believe. Such a hefty sack it was. My mind was racing with possibilities of what it might contain. That had to be our man, right? We need to hunt down that merchant.
I went to the wrong and the right.
Incredible, isn't it? It reminds me of the giant statue of Lord Godbert at the Golden Saucer. Once the inspector's back on his feet, we'll have to show him.
How do we get down there?
I just
We
jumped.
jumped.
Oh, she'll follow us?
Yeah.
Man with a large sack. Ha! You bet I saw him. In fact, I sold him my chocobo. At first, I told him to get lost. The bird and I go way back, and so forth. But he was in a hurry, and his offer was very generous. When you're in my line of work, you can't afford to get too sentimental. And now I can buy a whole stable's worth of chocobos. Did he say where he was planning on going next? He was muttering something about having to get to Saltwind's Welcome in a hurry. Probably why he was desperate for a chocobo. It's a long way to go on foot. Never mind the sack. Did you hear that? We need to get to Saltwind's Welcome right away.
Did you guys see the picture I saved?
I did. How in the heck did he get to the first?
That wasn't the first. That was when we were back here talking to her. I said, "Row right there."
Oh,
I said it
gotcha.
right as Keth was reading the stuff from her. I was like, oh, right there, right there. Anyway. He was right between the trees. It's just like crazy. I was like, what? What? Oh.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch these VODs and see if I can find every spot he was.
There he is right there. Behind that rock over here.
Seriously, how did he get here?
He follows Nashu everywhere she goes.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not on the first anymore, are we? We're on
No.
Rizla.
No.
I got confused. I've lost my train
Gotcha.
of thought thing.
Here we are. Which means the mysterious man with the mysterious sack must be near. Keep your eyes peeled. Over there. The man is definitely up to no good. Maybe he's waiting for a co-conspirator? We should stay out of sight and watch what happens. Mr. Chupacabra. But he expressly told us that he put his evil schemes behind him. He wouldn't lie, would he? The goods appear to be none the worse for wear. Very well. Your payment, as promised. My client will be most pleased. Oh no! Is he going to feed the inspector to that giant sea monster? It's an honor and a pleasure as always, Dr. Luge. I have faith this specimen will meet with your satisfaction. So this is the one said to be the strongest, most resilient in all the world. The Manderville Man. None other. He has weathered countless explosions and a multitude of martial abuses, including a devastating suplex I myself did witness. It is even said he survived a journey to Dalamet itself and survived the Lesser Moon's fall with nary a scratch. Most fortunately for us, he has fallen into a coma from which I am assured he will never wake. You are free to do with this body as you please. Even the mightiest of warriors can't fight while asleep. Those meddlers may have gotten the better of me and my beautiful boy in the Tower of Babel, but my next child will be all but invincible. With this body, mine to command, I will exact a bloody, glorious revenge. Forgive my boldness, Dr. Luge, but when might I expect the rest of my payment? I have debts that must be repaid. Worry not. With the Telophoroi gone for good, the vast fortune of House Brutus is entirely at my disposal. I shall shower you with wealth, my loyal minion. And gladly shall I accept the spoils, Doctor, and resolve never to renounce my wicked ways, for surely this time I will suffer no comeuppance. No, not you! Not now! I must away! Wait, Dr. Luge, my payment! Wake up, Inspector!
You guys see the little guy again?
I did not.
When she was chucking it, he was in the back by the corner.
Could it be? The world's no longer purple. Stop moving, damn you! You're supposed to be in a comatose, be the comatose centerpiece of my glorious revenge. Mummy! Not again! I say, that was a rather dramatic series of events to awaken to. But more importantly, after a brief detour, I find myself in my own world once more. My most sincere apologies for causing you such trouble, my loyal assistants, but rejoice, for Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return.
Holy shit. Oh, the little guy flew up there.
He did.
Did you guys see that?
I did.
What's this? Where's this gonna take? I don't think that's Lalafell or whatever. Not Lalafell, but the Lothboy.
Loporets.
Yeah.
Wait, Inspector! I knew it! An alien abduction! And to think I would have a chance to witness one with my own eyes! This month's issue of the Thatenarian Truth shall be the best one yet! And just when I thought we finally had the Inspector back, off he went! And then came back. and then floated off again. I know it's not the first time that he's taken to the skies without warning, but still, it's always a little disappointing. Still, there's no use crying over flying inspectors. Let's return to Radzatan.
The little guy was hiding over here behind this rock, like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, we could see specks of him.
Yeah, I saw him get sucked up.
Yeah, he was on the left. I was like, oh, that wasn't one of those little animal things or whatever, beach.
Yeah, it wasn't dodos.
Yeah. So with that, I doubt we'll see him anymore. Well, until the next.
Until we track down Hildibrand, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Inspector, why have you left me again? And where have you gone? No, this won't do. Get it together, Nashu. There's a case to be solved. Just you wait, Inspector. Your loyal assistant Nashu will solve the mystery of your disappearance. Again. But don't worry. As soon as I have a new lead, you'll be the first to know. Till next time.
Yeah, everything was killed off according to what's her name. I don't know what kind of aliens are out there. Would be.
The alien spaceship is like the most fake looking thing they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like all the little alien spaceship drawings that you ever see.
Yeah.
And the best part was how he just pooped him right out.
I foresee a minion in about a year.
Yeah. That's the little guy floating right there.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm going to go AFK and see if I can feed my dogs.
Okay.
Checking what temperature it is. It currently feels like 90 outside at 11 p.m. But that's the best I can do. So I'll be back in a minute.
I'll be right back.
Start over. You can give a count off.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, no, we're off.
Okay, count off again.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Okay, the one picture I was actually able to capture of the little lava fell, he looks freaky in that. All dark and everything with the little eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Everybody get over here. Just line up. Move forward a little bit. No, not you, Zora. Try and make a straight line here. Okay, hold on. You two stay there. Okay, somebody count off.
3, 2, 1, go.
And
I think
it's
I'm a
got
little ahead.
It's got a loop on it. Oh, okay. Stop.
3, 2, 1, go.
There we go.
I'm ahead, aren't I?
No, it looks like we're even.
Oh, on my screen it looks like I'm a little ahead.
And I am back.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Giving something for your viewers.
My favorite bit is the moonwalk.
If you go into group pose, we all sync up.
Nice!
Awesome. And welcome back.
I love it.
It is an excellent dance.
This is like, well, yeah, my new favorite dance. I'm so glad we got it. From first seeing it, I was like, please, please, please.
Well, I knew there was another dance coming, I just didn't know what it was. And how it's basically an amalgamation of most of his poses.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's your book say? Your wondrous tales.
Mine?
Yeah, I went and grabbed one today. Did you two also grab yours?
I did not.
I have one.
I do have a map with the teleport in it. Portal.
Mine also requires a map dungeon.
Mine doesn't. I actually picked up a book and we did 2 things that got credit on my new map.
Nice. What did we do?
Bowl of Embers and Shiva.
Oh, you picked up a new book immediately after turning in your other one last week.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, I could think of one other thing for us to do tonight.
Oh, wow. Wait a second. Real quick before you go, look at that guy's shield.
Oh, blue.
Indeed.
That is cool looking.
That is, which one is that? The pre-win replica. And that is the Heavensward relic.
Nice. Okay, I am sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all right. Shiny shields are a thing to bring attention to.
Yes, for sure.
And where'd you get the dwarf rabbit?
I got it in a gift box in the firmament. From doing the fates that they do in there, the party thingies. The little duty. No, it's a fate. It's a fate.
Do I need to go get a book? Is that what we're saying?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
Where's this Fortuna? Oh, there she is.
Hmm?
The bride
The
from the other day.
Yeah. She sent
Ah.
out a bunch of friends requests. Can I get
Gotcha.
up there? That's fine. Yeah.
What's happening? What?
Fortuna's here in Charleroi.
She waved
Oh,
to you,
did I
me,
miss it?
and Emo.
Oh, I missed the wave. That's okay. It's fine.
This is the Tartaru quest line that was added in the last patch.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The small business, big dreams.
Mm-hmm. I think it's only one quest, so it probably won't take very long. Welcome, welcome. I'm Mejadina, assistant shopkeep and apprentice seamstress here at Tartaru's boutique. I doubt you remember my face, as I am merely one of many who owe you our lives. But you will always have my gratitude and for saving me that day in Eblin Rhyme. You were too kind. And while I hate to ask aught more of you, please say you're here to assist in Mistress Tartaru's newest endeavor. Not yet, but he soon shall be.
Pushy.
Whatever will we do without your penchant for turning up precisely when you're needed, eh? Now, to make the long story of our solvency short, we've secured the resources to produce the new designs I developed in cooperation with guilds near and far, and in sufficient quantity to meet rising demand. We shan't rest on our laurels, however. To serve passing adventurers and the occasional intrepid Charlian is all well and good, but we're hardly taking the world by storm. No. Much like yourself, we must look toward the new horizons. The Scions provided the cooperation on a star-wide scale, or proved that cooperation on a star-wide scale is possible, and we would be fools not to capitalize on that to build the greatest trade network in the history of Heidelin, all for the greater good, of course. Yes, this is a wonderful opportunity to bring people together. I often think back to that incredible moment when the Garlean army came to our rescue. Perhaps our efforts, too, will one day lead to a miracle that which took place on the Eblin Rhyme. I have no doubt that they shall, but we mustn't expect such alliances to form themselves. We must be proactive, and who better to woo our featured partners in commerce than our current #1 customer, you? Our erstwhile comrades in arms know that when Know that when it comes to good equipment and better ideas, few have such keen eyes as our adventurer extraordinaire. Even should they hesitate at first, I'm certain you can convince them using the samples I've prepared. I'm going with option number 2. Oh, but of course, with your assistance, we'll have both coin and goodwill flowing in no time. Everything is falling into place. Where shall we send him first? Don't worry, I have it all planned out. First, Limsa Lemensa. Sickard has the bloody executioners working harder than ever, so he is sure to appreciate any extra supplies. Next, Gridania. The Seed Seers are a source of trusted authority and insight into the Shroud. So we'd not go amiss in cultivating the investment of, say, Arun Senna. His insular station has likely given him little opportunity for dealings outside of Gridania in the past. So you'll want to leverage the Ilsbardian contingent camaraderie to assure him of the value of our venture. As for Ul'dah, I feel confident in pinning our hopes on Pippin. He's always been a stalwart ally, and it goes without saying that he has more than a little sway in the Sultanate. Between his involvement with the Immortal Flames, the Syndicate, and the Colosseum, he's bound to find a use for quality accoutrements. With that out of the way, Mechadina, would you do the honors?
You kind of missed the whole muhahaha laugh of hers, you know.
Never let it be said that Tartarutaru is stingy with her samples. Now, if you would make your way to Limsa and climb aboard the Astalicia, I'm certain someone will point you in Sickard's direction. I have my own avenues of inquiry to attend to, but I'll check in periodically to see how your journey is coming along. Let's get to it.
So Limsa. Oh, yeah.
The Aetheryte of the Fisherman's Guild is the closest one.
Isn't this the boat you keep asking me if I've gone on yet?
No.
We've been on this one before.
Yep.
There was a viewpoint at the top of the whatever the thing is.
I've asked you a few times if you've gone on the deep sea fishing boat,
That's it, yeah.
but it's not this one. I recognize you. What do you want? As long as it's not about another bloody apocalypse, I don't see why not. Wait here. Bugger me. Thought we'd seen the last of you for a while. What brings you aboard? I'll go with option 2. Your sales pitch needs some work, but I see what you're getting at. We're already traveling halfway across the world every half moon. May as well have a little extra for our trouble, eh? You know, there was a time I thought pirating was the whole world. That being the best at them, being the best of them was, being the best of them all meant something. I think I may have just skipped a line, I'm not sure. Going to Hildibrand made me see how small my world was compared to the real one. Standing next to the star's finest, I started to wonder what I had to brag about. Then the bloody executioners went and did me proud by bringing in a bigger goddamn haul of adamantite than anyone else in the realm. Between that and the new metal works we've got going with the kobolds, it seems like a right time for the executioners to change our sails, so to speak. Which is to say that if you've got wares for promoting, I'll be happy to show them off across the realm and beyond. Masterworks of Tartarutaru's boutique, guaranteed by the Warrior of Light himself. Almost seems a waste to wear them. Folks will be lining up on the docks for these. Literally seeing his old Charlian's only accessible by sea. Now if we got ourselves an exclusive shipping contract. Ah, I see the course clear as day. Now we just need Emma Lane on board. He's right useless when there's work to be done, but talk's another matter. And he still owes me one for keeping his sorry arse out of trouble. So I'll have him put me in touch with a few savvy salesman types on the continent.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Bel Tartaru, I look forward to setting sail on this new tide of hers. May the winds of change guide us all right. It's me. How goes our little venture thus far? Oh, Sickard's eyeing the shipping routes, is he? All according to plan. But our work has only just begun. I'll keep after my own contacts while you work on Arun. I hear he's not often in the city, but I don't doubt that Mother Mioun can sniff him out. Why, if it isn't the Warrior of Light. Struck with a sudden craving for eel pie, were you? Or is the information your fancy? Oh yes, word of our Seed Seer's comings and goings never fails to reach my ears. I'm told that ever since he returned from his foray in Hildibrand, he's been roaming back and forth between our neighboring tribes' settlements and the Lotus Stand. You'll miss him if you make for one or the other, like as not, so I suggest you waylay him at the Blue Badger Gate. Curious. Might I ask why you're loitering at the gates? And with such an enormous sack? It's only even the second biggest sack we've seen today. Admit you've piqued my interest. To integrate the tradition and ingenuity of the guilds through Eorzea in such fashion is no small feat. As it happens, I'm of the mind to do something similar myself, though I could not blame you should you doubt my understanding of such endeavors. Absent a special dispatch like that which the Elder Seedseer ordered from Hildibrand, 'tis vanishingly rare for one of my station to leave the Shroud. You are doubtless aware that historically Gridania has placed the peace of the Twelveswood and our covenant with the elementals above all else, often to the detriment of our relationship with other peoples. Yet much as we are one with the Shroud, are we not also part of the Star entire? Our ventures in Garlemald made plain the strength of a world united. This attire you carry demonstrates much the same truth. But perhaps you assumed you would need to talk me around to the idea. If so, I apologize for the disappointment. If 'tis any comfort, I'm nearly as surprised myself. No longer am I content to hear the words of the elementals alone. I wish to hear the voices of men, though our time in Garlemald has shown me that my ability to listen is average at best. These horns may mark me as gifted in the Twelveswood, but beyond they inspire neither fear nor awe. I have been mistaken several times for a Azalea, and may as well be one, for all the difference my status as Seed Seer makes for those who want for succor. It was the selfsame insignificance that allowed me for the first time in my life to truly feel part of a greater whole. I am but one life among myriads upon this star. I dare say I should behave accordingly. With luck, my elder sister shall agree. Tell Mistress Tartaru that her gift is accepted with gratitude, and she ought to hear from us soon. Guess who? Did you speak with Arun yet? That sounds promising. I'm beginning to understand what makes our Seed Seer friend tick. But we can discuss that later. You need to catch Pippin ere his duties take him from Moldau once more. I believe he spends much of his time at the Colosseum, so perhaps you should pay a visit to the Gold Court. I'll be waiting I'll be waiting for your report at the boutique. The fact that he said the gold cord, I was making sure they didn't mean the gold circle, which is somewhere else entirely. But no, they meant the gold cord. And I don't know why I ran away from the 8th Rite.
All right, where's the gold court?
Go to the Gladiators Guild. It's the closest point.
Which I was going to go first, but then I was like, wait, that's Gladiator Guild, not gold court. Where is this?
The gold cord is the circle right next to the Gladiators Guild. And standing next to the Sabbath tender apparently gives us the gold saucer music.
Yeah.
I see. Marshal Tarapin is currently engaged in another meeting, but I shall tell him that you await his earliest convenience. My apologies for keeping you waiting. I did not expect you here this morning. Tartaru is offering quality material, is she? I can hardly say no to that. It fits almost too perfectly with my plans for the flames. I've long striven for mastery of the blade. I required the trials of Hildibrand, however, to see that Tizona, or to truly see Tizona for what it is. The fire that warms the coldest night, the spark that ignites the blaze of hope, and most of all, an unbreakable statement to Father's faith in me. More ally than tool, it is a treasure beyond price. Does every soldier of the immortal flames not deserve allies such as this? Arms and armor to remind them of what they fight to protect, to help them stand when they might otherwise fall? Indeed, works made possible only through the ingenuity and dedication of allies across the star may be just the sort of inspiring armaments we need. I anticipate that I will be sending along an order for custom equipment ere long. In the meantime, would you mind if I use these samples for a few trials here at the Coliseum? My thanks. We shall put them to use immediately. As a child of Ul'dah, however, naught strikes fear into my heart like the prospect of receiving valuable goods for free. I must insist you accept something in return. I had been meaning to gift that necklace to Tartaru. Its poor condition aside, she might rather have it than not. I've spoken with Tartaru at some length about our pasts, you understand. In many ways, we are quite similar. As you may recall, her family was bankrupted when she was very young, a consequence of her father's business failing. They were forced to put all of their wealth towards paying off his debts and then some. One asset they reluctantly parted with was a necklace treasured by her mother, for which Tartaru has long searched to no avail. Strangely enough, I recently discovered jewelry of the very same description amidst a store of neglected Colosseum prizes. Assuming it is the same piece, I should like to see it returned to her. It is significantly worse off for having changed hands, though, and only the sapphire centerpiece remains unlost and undamaged. She may appreciate the sentiment nonetheless, but it's difficult to say. What do you think? I'm going for number 1. True enough. Though if it's to be a gift, I would prefer to at least clean it up a bit. In that case, I had considered asking the Goldsmiths Guild, but you ought to be able to turn the necklace into a piece that Tartaru would wear. It's not precisely what she remembers. I imagine you will have the opportunity to pick up gems and other suitable materials on your travels. From there, it is merely a matter of unifying the pieces. Are you willing? Then we'll have the sapphire removed from its setting and sent to the boutique with all haste. I doubt even Tartaru would dare open a private package addressed to you. Best of luck in finding matching materials, and in your mercantile endeavors, of course. May the trader guide you to fortune fair. Well, I imagine this is because the NGP event is up.
It is.
Oh, and I haven't been able to find them, but I have been told that there are now loporits roaming around the Golden Saucer.
I have seen them. Yeah, I have seen them.
I will have to look harder in the future. Oh, and it was just a silly thing, but yesterday, the Final Fantasy XIV Twitter account, for the entire day yesterday, changed its name to Tweeting Way and role-played as a loporit who plays on Twitter.
Oh, I love that.
So cute.
You've returned, with your bag all the lighter for having given away our samples, I hope. Speaking of which, a parcel from one Pippin Tarapin arrived not bells ago, addressed to you. Could it be that our newfound partnerships are already bearing fruit? Her mother's necklace? Well, that's a wonderful idea. Please allow me to assist. I swear I won't breathe a word of this to Mistress Tartaru. I do wonder what parts you will need. Do you know what style Mrs. Tartaru prefers? If this necklace is to be a keepsake, why not focus on that? Apologies. I could not help but overhear. That's quite all right, but do please keep your voice down. What was it you were saying? It simply occurred to me that since you were gifted the sapphire so readily, our other partners in this endeavor may wish to offer up something for Mr. Tartaru as well. With such gifts, you could turn the necklace into a memento of not just her past and its trials, but her present successes as well. That's perfect. If our plans for the boutique proceed apace, we should have more than enough tokens from friends across the seas. What do you think? Well, well, were you waiting for little old me? Mr. Tartaru, we were just discussing the successful delivery of the samples, yes. Good to hear. How fares dear Pippin? I knew he would come through, though I admit that I wasn't expecting to outfit a whole host of immortal flames quite so soon. Suppose it goes to show that even the most hardened warrior can always learn a thing or two. And Sigurd and Narun have changed as well, if your tales are any indication. I imagine their personal growth bodes well for that of our network. Thank you for checking up on them. We must sort through our current commissions before deciding who to approach next, but I know I can count on you to be ready when we are. Alright guys, I think that's probably a good place to call the stream for tonight. So I will be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII Remake. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.